Hey, all you baking fans. Welcome to Everyday Dish. I'm Julie Hasson, and I'm going to show you how to make a fantastic recipe for chocolate chip oatmeal cookies. Oh, and they're vegan too. You ready? Let's get started. This is very easy. Flour, unbleached, all-purpose flour, a little baking powder, a little baking soda. Mix that together like so. There we go. And set it aside. Then what I like to do is I'll do the egg replacer. Now I like to use Bob's Red Mill egg replacer because it just works so well in recipes. I've never had it fail. So it comes in a powder like this, and you do 1 tablespoon of the egg replacer to 3 tablespoons of water for each egg you're replacing. So I'm replacing 2 eggs. And so I'm going to whisk in my water like that. And you know, there'll be a few little lumps, but try and whisk it together as smooth as you can. Okay, like that. And now we can set that aside. Then, now we'll start on the mixing. I have 2 sticks of softened Earth Balance margarine. If you don't have Earth Balance, you can use any unhydrogenated, great tasting margarine. So we're going to put that in the mixer. Hopefully you'll do a neater job than I've done. Okay, put that there. Now we're going to add our brown sugar. This recipe just uses brown sugar. There we go. Oh, how nice. I made a mess too. Okay, we're going to turn the machine on. Now we shut it off. We're going to add our vanilla. Actually, it helps if I lift the head back. There we go. We have our vanilla, and we're going to add the egg replacer. Now, once I add the egg replacer, I like to beat it for a moment so it really gets well incorporated. And you want to scrape up all the extra there that's stuck in the bowl. I love this recipe too because you can freeze them. They freeze really well. Okay, now we're going to turn it on low so it doesn't splash out. Okay, and then I beat it just until it's really well incorporated, as you can see by looking at the beater there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add our dry ingredients, which is our flour and leavening, and mix that in there. Now I didn't add any salt because there is salt added to the Earth Balance, so I don't really like them any saltier than what they are this way. Okay, so now we have all of our dry ingredients. And again, we're going to mix it, but this time we're going to mix it on low because we don't want the flour just, you know, poof, going all over like that. Okay. Okay, now it is a good idea to take your spatula and to just kind of mix the dough around in case there's anything that's at the bottom that hasn't been mixed. Now this tends to happen once we're going to add the oats, so you really want to make sure you get all the oats from the bottom and you mix them up on the top. Okay, now we're going to add in our oats. As you can see, I'm a very messy baker. Let's mix this just briefly. Okay, now this is where we're going to flip the stuff around from the bottom. Now I think I should add too, this is one of my tried and true recipes from my bakery days. Of course it's been tinkered with a little bit, but only for the better. Okay, so now this is all mixed in. So what we're going to do, scrape off the beater, unless you happen to have somebody nearby that loves to lick the beater, and then in that case you can have them lick the beater. It's really good, and because there's no raw eggs in it, you can lick the beater and not worry about getting sick. Okay, now we have our batter, and you want to make sure it's all mixed. Then what we're going to do is add chocolate chips, a lot of them. Yeah, those in there. And if you wanted to at this point, you could add dried cherries or dried cranberries, which just make it insanely good. Oh, or raisins. Raisins are really good too. Okay, so we're going to mix this together. All right, so now we have our batter. It's kind of dry and crumbly, but that's the way it's supposed to be. Then scoop. I love these scoops for making cookies. They come out perfect all the time and every time. And the other thing too is that everything bakes evenly because they're all the same size. Plus they look like they came from a bakery, so it's kind of a special, cool way to do your cookies. So I've got, and then I also like to press it against the side of the bowl so it really packs it in there. Okay, so I've got my ball of dough right there, and I can fit 12 on this baking sheet. Oh, and it's lined with parchment paper. You don't have to grease it, and it makes cleanup really easy. Okay, so then what you do is you lightly smash the top of the cookie, just like that. Okay, last cookie on the sheet. There we go, perfect. Now they go in the oven, and then we're gonna have the best cookies. These are the best cookies. You're gonna love them. They bake for about 14 minutes, and once they're cool, this is what they look like when they're done. Thank you so much for joining me, and for this recipe and a ton of other great recipes, go to everydaydish.tv. Thanks. Happy baking.